Hello and welcome to Doodle Club with me, Cate Field, and welcome to week 3 of the June and July Creative Adventure. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, throughout June and July, I'm offering you to participate in a wonderful creative adventure. And if you'd like a little companion booklet, there's a link in the description. It's completely free and anyone can join in. This is week 3 and I've called it Mark the Music. We're going to be doing a little bit of mark making, but it's going to be to the music of your choice. Do you ever have that moment when you listen to a piece of music? It might be something that's very, very familiar to you. And then you kind of get this feeling of all sorts of stuff. Music is so evocative, isn't it? And I love working while listening to music. And so I'm going to give you a few examples. It's going to be quite short, this tutorial, and I really hope you're going to enjoy it. But sort of take these little snippets and then do your own thing, which is my kind of creative practice anyway. I do hope you are well. Let's get going. So I'm going to be making my marks with my favourite fountain pen with some black ink and some watercolour paints. And I've got a new one because the other one was getting very, very worn out. These are Analinky Vibrant watercolours and I absolutely love them. I'll put a link below. And there are lots of other alternatives, but you use whatever you want. The whole point of making a mark is that is exactly what it is. You are making a mark on the page. And because YouTube has copyright issues when we have music, I'm going to be playing some of my favourite non-copyright music, which is largely instrumental, and which I hope you're going to enjoy. But the whole point of this is that you're going to use music that you love and that you're going to see how that affects your painting or your mark making. Some of you might be thinking, I've got no idea what she's talking about. What is a mark? What's this mark making thing? That is a mark. It's not sophisticated. This is a page, the next page in my sketchbook. It's already got a few little blobs on it. If you want to, you can divide your page into spaces, if that kind of is less intimidating. Don't be afraid of the blank page. I think a lot of people are scared with a new sketchbook, with new materials, and I encourage you to just make that mark. Have a little mantra when I am teaching my students, and I say to them, the mark you make on the page is the correct mark. Now this ink pen, I am using my I'm using Analinky paints. I'm using my Lamy fountain pen, and the ink that I'm using is a mixture actually of black and Earl Grey from Diamine Inks. But like I said, you can use whatever you want. I'm also going to be using some colouring pencils and probably some felt tip pens as well. But let's just start by making some marks. I'm going to play a little bit of music and we're just going to see what happens. This is a bit of kind of smooth jazz. It's quite nice. Just sort of moving my pen around and just enjoying it. Once you've kind of put the marks down, you could leave them like that, or you could get your brush, do a few little splodges. Again, the mark you make is the correct mark. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. This will interact with the black. Just having a bit of a boogie here in my studio. So picking up on the scribbles and splash that you did in week 1, have a look through what you did look at the things that you really liked and see how that goes. So I'm going to be sort of playing a few odd bits of music as we go through this, but I can't stress enough that this is your time. You need to do what you want to do. So again, I think I'm going to stick to greens and black for the moment. Combination. Hold your pen in a different way. Please excuse my croaky voice. I've still got this cough. It's getting quite annoying now, frankly. There we go. But I do hope you're well. And thank you so much for everyone who writes wonderful comments. They are so uplifting. What a fantastic community we have here. It's so good. So again, picking up on what you did with your splashes. And putting these, and just thinking how the music is directing you. This has a bit of a country feel, this piece, doesn't it? But I love all sorts of music. I love all sorts of classical music and choral music. I like folk music, a little bit of jazz. But I do often go back to my 1980s playlists. Those of us of a certain age really do enjoy the sound of the 1980s and the 1970s, actually. Let me know what music you like. You could add a few of your choices in, and you could inspire other people. This is what's so lovely about this community, I think, is that we can really inspire and encourage each other. You know, those of us who've been creating art for years and years can encourage those who perhaps used to do a lot of art and life and stuff got in the way, and so you never had a chance to do any more. Because I think as children, we just love to play and to create. And then as we get older, that kind of gets squashed out of us. I'm just actually really enjoying this. Lots of big marks. I'm going to swap hands. So, just do a little bit more on that. I'm going to leave this one to dry, I think, and do another one. So I thought I would just play a little bit of gentle guitar folk music, and I'm using these felt tip brushes that are also water soluble. So I'm just going to create a little sunset idea, I think. And these I just picked up very cheaply, actually. So I think that when we are just allowing ourselves the freedom to play a little, then I think that we can just use our inexpensive pieces, and then we can save the more expensive paints and things like that for more finished pieces. And then we don't get stuck, because I think that is a problem sometimes. And I think, oh, I can't use that because, you know, I need to save it for something. Whereas actually, you can get some really good ideas down with some very inexpensive pieces. I really like this pen actually, because it's quite difficult to get pink in watercolour. but this is actually really rather good. It's quite a nice colour. I do like a pink. So I'd love to know what sort of music you are going to choose. Let me just, so when we're kind of putting down these marks, we can just try sort of moving our hand in a different way. I'm just doing strokes across the page. Like that. Or you could use colouring pencils, crayons, anything really. I'm going to use a fatter brush. Again, this is my sketchbook, so it's just a place to try things out. But these kind of like horizontal marks, I'm quite liking these. Just pop those into there as well. I'll leave that one to dry and move on to something else. So I've put on a bit of jolly music now. I'm going to go back to my watercolours. I'm going to squirt some water on these. I'm going to be using my sunshine colours and a natural sponge. And I'm just going to do some marks using my sponge in yellow and orange to pick up on this joyful piece. That's quite fun. Quite often when I'm working, I will play different sorts of music. So that might be some like soft classical music, might be some quite dramatic music, or I quite often go back to my 1980s playlist because that's really good fun. See, just making the marks. I thought I would do some splattering on this as well, just using the same colours. So let me know what you are listening to. Let me do just a few more. I could just keep this quite textured, I think. And then finally, I'm going to just be using some ready mix paint. Very, very inexpensive in the children's department of a lot of supermarkets. And I'm going to be using scrunched up paper, a bit of cling film, a bit of tissue. I've just got my lovely music playing here. I'm going to start off with my scrunched up paper. And I'm just going to splodge these across the page. I quite like it when it starts to fade. I haven't used any water with this. Just going to leave that like that. Let's just put a bit of cling film over the top. But again, the music is just gently playing. Spreading this out, making a glorious mess, really. Let's get back to this piece. Now, I know that some of you do these tutorials with your children, your grandchildren, and this is just such a lovely way to share creating art, isn't it? share different sorts of music and just say, oh, what does this remind you of? Or just have it in the background. It's part of the experience. I'm quite liking this. You do get a bit messy though. Oh, it is good fun. Let's get this tissue paper. I'm not sure if there's any left on. Oh, there is a little bit. Because then you've got your tissue paper here, so you could use that for collage and stuff like that, couldn't you? I really do love allowing myself to play. So put a few splodges on there. Let's just let's get another little piece of music going, I think. Just see where we go with this one. Oh yeah, that's just another repeat one, but that's okay. There we go. Nicely messy. This is quite thin tissue paper, so it will tear. I've got some rice paper. That will be a little bit stronger if I want to use it for collage. Because that is actually, it's a really lovely medium to work collage. I've done quite a few tutorials on collage. You might want to check those out. And if you're enjoying this, perhaps you'd give me a little bit of a like. So it helps other people to find me. And we can just expand this wonderful, joyful community. Yes, it is. So lovely. Look at those. So these background pieces I might develop further. I might put other things on top and things like that. Or I might just enjoy them as they are. As I hope you do. I hope you've got lots of ideas. I would love to know what music inspires you, or perhaps you've just found a new piece of music that you think, oh my goodness, that is amazing. I need to do something with that. Or perhaps it's just an old familiar, like a comfort blanket. If you haven't liked yet and you've got this far, that would be wonderful. And perhaps you'd like to share this with someone else who also might like this kind of content. And if you want to see some more, look at this one, because I think you're going to like it. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.